Welcome everybody and welcome to Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm your host for Pro Wrestling Talk, James Piranha Madonna of Megalife21, the hardest hitting internet talk radio station on the planet. And I am proud to have back, I believe this is for the third time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason.
Yep, third time.
The third time.
You know what they say about that is a charm.
Yeah, third time's is a charmer, and no pun intended, because it's the opposite. You're not going to get charmed tonight, but you are going to get informed tonight. Okay? Third time's a charmer. Now, Jason Speed, second generation pro wrestler. His dad was a famous long career Caribbean wrestler from Puerto Rico. The White Angel in English, right? Translation?
Right, El Ángel Blanco.
Yes. And I believe he also had a pro wrestling school and a gym in New York City.
It's St. Mary's Park in the Bronx. Yep.
Okay, and it's the second generation Jason Speed who learned the hardcore way, old-fashioned hardcore way of pro wrestling, getting body slammed on the old ring mat, the boxing ring mat, and concrete floor, whatever. Now, Jason, from what I understand, you were booked in a wrestling event in Orange County, New York. What town was that?
Washingtonville, New York. Washingtonville High School.
Washingtonville High School, Washingtonville, New York, the home of Brotherhood Winery, which is the oldest winery in the United States. I used to go there as a kid, and I actually liked the wine, but I remember it. Now, Jason Speed was at an event wrestling, and he had in his corner former TNA Knockouts champion, Angelina Love.
Yeah, one second.
Okay. That's Jason.
Sorry, there was a little noise there.
Yeah. Now, Angelina Love was with Jason Speed at some kind of wrestling convention where everybody was doing autographs and signings.
Right. Yeah, it was at the flea market in Middletown, and
okay.
A couple of weeks before, I had this guy that he sells memorabilia at the flea market, and he said Angelina Love would like to do the show, and I said how much. Anyway, we agreed to a certain price, and I hired her.
Okay, she agreed to this price that was determined way beforehand, way before the event. It was negotiated and it was settled, and the price she was getting was not chicken feed. It was ample. It was a decent amount,
Right.
And it was enough for her to fulfill her obligation at the event. She was in your corner. Of course, you were at the flea market doing autograph signings with Angelina. Angelina Love was there.
No, actually, the signing was going to happen at the show. She was doing her own thing there.
Oh, okay. What about Velvet Sky was there?
Velvet Sky,
Goldberg,
Hernandez, Goldberg, $1 Million Man,
Ted DiBiase, right?
Ted DiBiase, Virgil, Shane Douglas, Raven, real nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all there, so it was a nice event.
It's a nice event, and Velvet Sky, was she friendly or was she standoffish?
No, she's very nice. They were all very nice.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just ran into a situation at that show in Washingtonville, which left a bad taste in my mouth.
Well,
but otherwise, everybody there was really nice.
Right. Now, yeah, it seems like a real star-studded event at the flea market. Now,
Joey Styles was there too.
Oh yeah, Joey Styles from ECW, announcer.
Yeah. He was
Excuse me. Pollen, the pollen count. It's that time of year. Now, this prearranged amount, and you could, if it has to do with money, you want to keep it private, keep it private. But Jason Speed told me what the amount was, and believe me, listeners, Angelina Love was receiving a decent amount.
I think it was ample.
Ample for a female wrestler who, you know, they're not going to draw, they're not going to fill the seats like a famous male superstar. You know what I mean? But it was ample for somebody who is not currently in the TNA spotlight. She's really not. She's not really with anybody, so to speak, right now. She's kind of in limbo.
Right, and then and then the whole point was that she, after that predetermined amount I told you, the guy who I made the deal with tells me she doesn't want to get involved physically with Luxurious Lynn, which I think you know.
Yes, Luxurious Lynn. Now, when did she decide she didn't want to get physical?
Well, right there at the show, and it really pissed me off because she said, "Oh, I don't want to get involved because Lynn has that dress on. You know, Lynn dresses with that beautiful sparkly dress she always wears."
That never stopped.
I didn't want to do that because she has a dress, and I said, "Okay, just give me a second." I went back to Lynn's locker room and I asked her, "Lynn, Angelina tells me she doesn't want to get physical with you because of your dress." Lynn pulls her dress up and says, "Jason, look, I got shorts. I have no problem with it." So I go back and I'm told by her man, the guy who I paid the money to get her on the show, oh, she wants another $250 to get physical in the ring.
On top of the...
And you know what? I'm not going to say how much I paid anyway. But you know it was ample. And to put another $250 on top of that was insane.
Yeah, for a lady wrestler who... Okay, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure how long she's been in the business, but I know she had the TNA title. She was with the Velvet Sky, the Beautiful People, whatever. But the point is, you know, we're not dealing with
a Hulk Hogan,
with a Hogan or a Bully Ray or Sting, you know, or Miz or John Cena.
What really pissed me off was it was already determined when I first made the deal. I was told she'll run any interference you want.
Oh,
she's
really?
not wrestling. She's not wrestling. But
no, she's not wrestling. She just to do interference. She wanted another $250 on top of the big hump that she got already.
Right, but at the beginning, I was told any interference you want, and that's what I was expecting. That's what fans were expecting because the setup was Lynn had interfered in 2 of my matches already.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, I'm gonna get Angelina Love. This will even things out. People want to see her ass get kicked.
Yeah, it was whole.
And you know, I set up a spot where you know, she was going to be choking me on the ropes. Angelina was supposed to run after her because she didn't want to touch her. All she wanted to do was run after her and have her run back to the locker room. And she didn't want to get physical with her. Even when she did that, she jogged. You know, it's like she was too good to do anything, and
she was too good.
It was just a disaster. She looked like she didn't want to talk to me till the last minute. To the last minute, so we could do set up our spots. The deal was I was supposed to take her, you know, around and just everything just fell apart, and it was just
You're
a
supposed to.
disaster. And I wouldn't do it again. I would never deal with her again because it was just it was a nightmare. And I actually lost money. I didn't get a dime back actually. So, and then with the pictures, I saw her signing before. I saw her signing intermission, and then it's supposed to be a 50-50. Manager comes back, or she didn't sign as many pictures as we thought. Another thing, and he said we have to take that money, your half, for half of her airfare and half of her hotel, which I never agreed on.
Yeah,
So,
but isn't this particular manager? Isn't that his responsibility to get the star
Yeah,
to
you know
the
what
area?
he said because she was gonna stay another night, another night that we had to share that. Which anyway, the whole thing was a disaster.
This sounds very familiar. What they told you was bullshit. It reminds me of a particular heavy metal rock band that tells me that a club owner says, "Oh, we didn't get enough bodies in the club. I can't pay you what we agreed upon for me to pay the band." It sounds like the same crap. Now, how far in advance did she make arrangements as to what was going to take place for the money you paid her? How before the event?
I would say a month.
A month before the event in Washingtonville, New York, at the Washingtonville High School, a month prior to that, you had the agreement written in stone practically, the amount that was going to be paid to Angelina Love and also this representative, this particular manager, and the amount was settled, was agreed upon, and what she was going to do as far as interference was agreed upon. Now, to have Angelina Love just stand in a corner like a cigar store Indian and do nothing is very lame.
It was basically a ringside cheerleader, which I could have gotten any pretty girl to do that.
You could have called your friends.
You don't know how heated I was back then. I was just so, I was livid. I was so pissed.
Because it came out of your pocket, all this money, you know.
You know, and not only that, you know, I'm not saying every wrestler, every name is like that, but there's a lot of them that are like that because they're in an indie show. They're too good to talk to the talent, to interact with the talent, you know. And I felt that way about her. It was very disappointing. Maybe she thought I was a mark because you know me personally. I'm not the one to say unless I'm asked. I wrestled in the WWE. My father was a wrestler. I went here. I went there. I wrestled this person. You know I'm not like that unless I'm asked.
And all the people you met in the business through your dad.
Yeah, you know, I was friends with Booker T and
Kevin Nash.
And you know, a lot of these people, I got friendly with a lot of these people, and I you know, I'm just not like that. I don't even like talking about it. Like I would go to a party and somebody bring it up. Oh, Jason's a wrestler. I would never bring it up unless I'm asked.
Well, your background. I mean, she might have thought that you were just an indie wrestler that could afford to hire her. Maybe she didn't know your background, but that's besides the point.
That's it. You treat everybody the same. That's the whole point.
Right, but the point is...
And another thing, when I made that deal, I asked the manager. I mean, he was not her. He was like the middleman. I asked her, can you just ask her manager to have her give me a call? I want to straighten a few things out. like I wanted to make a collage with me and her, some pictures, so we could sell and sign together.
Right.
Oh, she doesn't give out her number. I didn't want her number. I wanted her to call me. You know, it's not a good business. I don't know.
You're supposed to do this event professionally together, and she didn't even want to go over.
She didn't want to talk. She didn't want to talk to me.
She didn't want to go over the details. She was too high and mighty to even show her slutty face and body like a go-go dancer to in an indie circuit event. She was too good for an indie circuit event.
I wouldn't go that far. but yeah, she just didn't want it.
Well, I mean, from the outside looking in, I mean, I know what a girl looks like when, you know, she's a go-go dancer. I know what they look like, and as far as class goes, she doesn't seem classy at all.
I was just not. I was very disappointed. It's like, you ever heard that saying? She think her shit don't stink.
Yes.
Well,
the point is, she was paid to do a job, and she was paid very decently for the short amount of time that she was supposed to be in your corner at this event. I mean, the amount she received in payment was very sizable for that short amount of time. And, you know, regardless, you have a job to do. Somebody's paying you well, you suck it up, and you get the job done. And on top of that, she wanted another $250 just to interfere in the match, to do her job.
It was nuts.
To do her job, you know.
It was.
And she laid this on you the last minute that she wanted another $250. Meanwhile, a month before, she agreed that she was going to interfere in this match.
Yeah.
And Luxurious Lynn had no problem about her dress. It wasn't about the dress. It was that this bitch wanted another $250 on top of the big chunk lump sum that she received out of your pocket, not the promoter's pocket, your pocket, and you lost money.
I mean, I could give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she didn't know my background. Maybe she thought I was a mark. But the whole point was.
But she wasn't professional.
But I just thought that I mean, it could have went better. She could have talked to me. We could have talked weeks before, and if I would have known what I knew that day, I would just say forget it.
The professional bloodsuckers, what it is. I wonder how many more TNA girls.
You can say what you want, but I'm not gonna call her this and that because I don't know. Maybe. But I'm just telling you, it was a bad experience.
If I was paying that amount, and I thought I was going to get one hell of an event, and the last minute, she wants another $250 on top of that. The first thing that would come to mind is when specific women in specific quote unquote industries try to give you the old screwing without any lubrication. That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound very ethical in what she did. Okay, and I'm wondering how many more women, ladies, and I use that term loosely, in the business or in TNA are like her. So she pals around with them, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But like I said, it could have been that she wasn't informed, but that's not the way it seems to me.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that all this money and I don't do this, I don't do that, I want extra money, you think maybe it was concocted by the manager and not necessarily?
It could be, but I don't know. She from what I see, she didn't want to get physical.
Yeah. Keep on thinking of that song by Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical, physical. You know what? You could tell me off the air if you want who this manager is. I won't say anything, but I don't know who you are, but if you're the one that tried to chisel and screw my friend here, Jason Speed, shame on you. If you really are responsible for it, you're a prick and a scumbag, and shame on you for trying to screw Jason Speed. But if you had nothing
I
to do
just,
with it,
it's just, I didn't get what my money's worth. It was just,
I mean,
it was like no effort was put into doing it. It didn't seem like, I don't know. It was a whole disaster. Just never do it again.
Never do it again. It's a big disappointment, and whether it be partially Angelina Love, whether
And you know what? I didn't do it for anybody else. I didn't do it for the promoter. I did it to push myself, to promote myself, and it just went down the toilet.
maybe as part of your gimmick, you better mention your background because you're not getting the full respect that I think you deserve. I mean, I think you are the king of Hudson Valley, New York, and you should be treated as such. And I just don't see nearly the amount of respect. I mean, you should have a title as a dynasty up there where you live. I mean, with your background. But you know, I mean, as we're speaking, in the background on the big screen, I have the volume is off, but TNA is on right now. And right now, Mickie James is in the ring with Velvet Sky. Hey, I don't know what the background is of any of these girls. They sure dress and act like exotic dancers, but they learn how to take bumps. Okay, obviously, they're pro wrestlers.
You know what? I can't really talk about any of them.
I just don't like sleaze and I like crookedness. I mean, you know, you make it deals.
I don't know. I tell you, I don't really know what went on, but I'm just telling you what my experience was. Maybe she wasn't informed. Maybe I was getting duped by this manager. But I'm just telling you, she didn't want to get physical, and I was told she wanted another 100, 250. And that was insane. Insane
to the membrane.
I just, I could have got like I said, I could have got a pretty cheerleader to stand in the corner and do that.
You could call your official Jason Speedettes, who are like college kids, college girls, who are not famous, high-paid TNA and WWE divas, whatever. You could have gotten the Speedettes, and they would have got they would have interfered with Luxurious Lynn. But you got a former Knockouts champion. She was paid well. Evidently, it wasn't well enough because she acted like she was royalty. She didn't want to break a sweat for the amount she was paid, which I feel is pretty ample. It's very, very decent. I mean, you listeners don't know, but she was paid well by Jason Speed. Then she wanted another $250. Maybe it was half Angelina Love and half of this agent. Maybe it was all agent. Maybe it was all Angelina Love. We don't know for sure, so we're not going to make assumptions, and we're not going to say anything definite. But something fishy is going on about that because you had an arrangement a month prior to this event with this agent.
Yeah, and I just think if I was put in contact with her, we could have, nailed things out. And if I was told, listen, I want X more money for this, I would have just saved my money. Said, okay, never mind.
So there was no socializing with her.
Got some other person to do it for $50.
So you, the man who compensated Angelina Love, didn't have any telephone time, any private meetings, no driving around.
Like I said, I didn't want her number. I just wanted her to contact me so we could iron things out. And well,
there was no ironing out. Period. There was nothing. It was all spur of the moment. And this is what happens, unfortunately. I don't know showbiz and Hollywood. I don't know how many people in the limelight act this way, but it's not becoming of a professional. And if you make an agreement with somebody, it's like if you were hiring a contractor to build an extension on your house, you go over the details with the contractor. You're going to pay him X amount of money. this is what he's going to do, this is what you're going to get. The same thing applies to pro wrestling. You know, you make arrangements. Oh, how much do you get to be in my corner and interfere, whatever? All right, fine. All right, whatever amount it is, she was content about it. Then all of a sudden, it's not enough. So I'm wondering if it is the manager, or maybe it's all her, but we don't know. Not cool at all. It's the last time Jason Speed will ever do business with Angelina Love. And next time I see her back on TNA, I will curse at the television, and I will. My opinion of people in the industry, I always used to think it was a lot of promoters that were motherfuckers, but it turns out that there's a lot of others that are that way also, and it's just a shame that the business cannot become ethical and cleaned up, you know? I mean, he paid a pretty penny. He paid a decent amount of money for this woman to be in his corner, and shame on you, Angelina Love, and or your agent. All right. Now, when are you going to be next? When are you going to wrestle next?
July 2nd at the Orange County Fair.
Oh, wow. The Orange County Fair already? It's been a year?
Yeah, July 17th.
I mean, it's like the anniversary of the first Speedette, right? That ever did anything for you.
Yeah.
It was yeah, I think it was the debut of one or two Speedettes.
Yeah.
But well, you know, bring back the Speedettes that are not going to cost you a lot of money, and yeah, just don't even do that again, because hey, for the money you paid for Angelina Love, you realize you could have almost spent a week or two in Punta Cana, the Dominican Republic, all inclusive. For another $100, you could have went there. All you can eat, all you can drink, hotel, airfare, the whole thing. For the money it cost this scoundrel, Angelina Love. Unbelievable. Totally disgusted by the whole matter. It's not really a word, I just made it up. But, so, okay, you're going to be at Orange County Fair, like you said, and are you wrestling anyone in particular?
Well, I don't know yet. I guess I found out I'll find out the beginning of July.
You should be going up against the Empire State Champion, and you should demolish him and squash him. I saw him. He's not very impressive. And I think you would have no problem squashing him like a grape. And I think you deserve the Empire State Championship around your waist as a dynasty for many years to come, because I think you can hang on to it for many years to come. And like Leo DeRocha said, nice guys finish last, and it's time to get venomous, even if you gotta like gnaw on somebody's forehead. Get venom, get savage. So what else is going on? Any you run into any people from the business that you know? Anything else going on?
I ran into Raven.
Oh yeah, Raven. I heard he's a nice guy.
Yeah, really nice guy. And Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas was like, he took to my kid, and they knew each other forever. I'm looking for my kid, and he's with Shane Douglas almost 20-25 minutes, just jabbing it up with him.
That's cool. That's cool that he's that nice of a guy. You know, I mean, you know, I was talking to somebody in the indie circuit, a female that knows a lot of indie circuit people, and she admitted that the guys are much nicer than the girls in the business. You know, that for some reason, you know, when a lot of attention gets on some of these girls and the cameras and everything, and it goes to their head. I don't know, but I mean, there are some dudes that are legends in their own mind too. You know who knows a lot of wrestlers too? He was in the WWE in the early 2000s. A friend of mine, Ken Thiessen, who, yeah, he was personal trainer for Vince McMahon and competitive bodybuilder, and he would like to get booked up here in the Jersey area.
Like I said, I know a lot of people. I just don't want. I just don't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Oh, and he was one of the Undertaker's druids, by the way. One of the original druids for the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Ken Thiessen, yeah, very nice guy.
Those are a lot of nice people. Me, like I told you before, I've tried to sell my pictures and I see these little kids. I just can't do it, man. For these little kids, I can't see them giving me their $4 or $5 and me selling them a picture. I've tried, and it just doesn't feel right.
I've seen indie
I take my pictures, I sign them, I just give them out.
I mean, I've seen young indie circuit wrestlers that are really nothing. They're like, nobody knows who the hell they are except people in their own town, and they were trying to sign autographs and sell them for like $10. I'm like, what the hell is it? $10? Nobody.
Like when I wrestled in the Bronx, I mean, a lot of people want to buy these pictures. But I see these little kids, I see the looks on their faces, and I just can't take their money, man. I just can't do it. And I just sign them and give them out.
I mean, this is their allowance money. This is probably all the money they have for the week, unless they're a rich kid with a silver spoon in their mouth. But most of these kids, this is their allowance money. And, you know, nah, I couldn't take $5-10 from a kid either. I would just, no, I would just sign it, and you know, so what? I mean, the money you make off the adults, you know, I know what they do. They go to a print shop, they get all these pictures made in bulk at a super discount, and that's it. You get a couple Sharpie markers and you sign the autograph, and but for little kids, I even remember the Iron Sheik felt really bad charging these little kids. You know, I mean, he felt bad. He says, they don't have any money. They're little kids.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't feel right. So I'd rather give them away. It makes me feel better giving it away than having the money in my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way the crab cake crumbles. I mean, well, Scotty was in. Raven was originally in the old ECW, and then he was in WCW. Remember?
Even did some TNA stuff, I believe.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Perry Saturn? He used to be with Perry Saturn a lot in WCW.
Well, from what I heard, he was gone for a while. He was homeless.
Perry Saturn?
Yeah, he was homeless. He was on drugs, and then he cleaned himself up.
Homeless? What's? I mean, he was like. He was on the TV taping for WCW for a while. I mean,
yeah, I know. If you see, it's on YouTube somewhere. You see a shoot interview with him. He tells the whole story.
He's got a nice build. I mean, he's in great shape. I think he was a paratrooper or something in the Army.
Yeah.
You know, but well, I'm glad to see that you're. That you got a match coming up, and I think.
And we still got to get together for that buffet. When I get up to your area,
the buffet is still there, and it's bigger and better than ever. And I mean, you can't go wrong for like $7.40 for the lunch buffet.
What kind of food was it?
Oh, you name it, it was there. I mean,
it's American, Asian.
American, barbecue, sushi bar, Chinese, some Korean, a little bit of Korean. They have meat. They have all kinds of. They have Mongolian barbecue. They have.
We gotta get Anderson together with us.
I mean, come on. All right, seven. Look, now we're getting into like a food channel thing. We're talking about this buffet. $7.40. A huge, beautiful place. I'm giving them free advertisement. It's called the Flaming Grill Buffet in Route 17 South in I believe it's Rutherford, New Jersey. And if if the owner ends up seeing this video, you better give James a big discount, jabroni, for plugging you. Anyway, it's Chinese run. They have I saw prime rib there. I saw roast duck. A lot of entrees of all kinds. It's a dessert, a humongous salad bar, fresh fruit, a lot of fish. It's really a nice place for the money. You can't beat it. If I go there, I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat lunch. And I eat so much at this lunch buffet, I don't eat dinner. I only end up having a late snack. You know, the good thing, yeah.
Go ahead.
The good thing about our part of the country is there are so many buffets. It doesn't pay to go to a seafood restaurant and spend over $20 and just get one sit-down meal where they serve you whatever you're eating, like one-shot deal. It doesn't pay.
Yeah.
You get, with these Chinese-run buffets, you get a lot of great fish, and they know how to cook the shrimp. I can tell they know how to cook fish because the shrimp are very tender. They're not overdone. They're not dry. And that's
talking about plugging stuff.
Yes.
I forgot to mention. I'll be in Dover, Delaware, Sunday at NASCAR signing autographs. So that's another event. I don't think I told you about that.
Is it a wrestling event or is it?
No, it's NASCAR.
Oh, so it's not going to be like an ECPW event.
No, it's just me.
It's just you, and
the Victor Mantera from The Godfather is going to be there.
Really?
A couple of country singers, and I'm one of the guests.
Wow, and you're gonna stay there overnight in a hotel?
No, I leave at 4 in the morning and should be getting back at about 11 o'clock at night.
Oh wow. Yes.
But so that's the event I'm gonna be at Sunday, Dover, Delaware, NASCAR,
Dover, Delaware. I always you know what I'm seeing now, the drag racing, Englishtown, New Jersey, the drag racing strip.
Yeah, but this is the top of the line stuff. The NASCAR, you can't get any better than that. And I've never been a NASCAR fan. This is gonna be my first time, so.
Well,
maybe in person is different. I don't know.
I never watch it on TV because I get bored because it's the track is shaped similar to a horse racing track, right? And you hear the same thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If I don't like that, there's a casino right there. So.
Indian reservation casino, or?
Yeah, I don't know. The guy who booked me told me if I don't want to see the race, there's a casino there. And I'm a big gambler. I'll probably go for the drinks. Maybe play $20.
Yeah, what I used to do is I used to play in a casino. I used to like the progressive slot machines and the poker machines. And I'm not a big gambler either, but I used to play very slowly and drink very fast because you get free drinks. And when I order the drinks, I order straight dark rum or whiskey with mostly dark rum with a lime squeeze of lemon or a lime rather on the rocks. But I say just straight rum because what the rascals do, what they do is they're chiselers. Actually, they give you less than 1.5 ounces of booze. You're supposed to put a full shot of hard liquor in a drink. Like if you order a screwdriver, you're supposed to get at least 1.5 ounces of vodka. They call that a jigger. It's a measuring device. The bartender uses 1.5 ounces, not a little dash of vodka in a screwdriver. So they do chisel you, and I could taste it. You know, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, so Monday I'll post some pictures from that event so you can check them out.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, and
All right, and we could do this again
yes,
Monday and update people.
this is very invigorating. This particular show is very invigorating because you know me. I love to sink my piranha teeth into people that are guilty of doing something wrong. And I enjoyed the taste of blood tonight, Jason, and like a chupacabra, you know. And thank you for being on Pro Wrestling Talk for Megalife21. Thank you.
All right.
And good night.
Take care, but talk to you Monday.
Talk to you Monday. Bye bye. Have a great time.
You too.
Bye bye.